Welcome back. This is season 2, episode 26. In this episode, I'm finally going to begin work on my mega towers. But first, I got to raise 21 million. I'm going to send 10 million to Brinkman's Folly and 10 million to Whitewater Crossing, leaving Elm Grove with just $1 million. Because I don't want to make y'all wait any longer. So close, got there in under a minute. Now I have all the money I need. Sending 10 million to Brinkman's Folly. That'll be the middle class city. And 10 million to Whitewater Crossing. This will be the upper class city. I now have 250 million, 500 million for the region. That was what it was after. Now I can finally get to work. First thing I wanted to do was remove this racetrack so I could, railroad track so I could move it underground, but it appears to be indestructible. I can't move it, so gotta send the cars underground instead. Building my tunnel. It'll take me a minute to get a good idea of the layout, figure out where I want my towers. I have the highway go all the way around. Trying to find a good spot for the towers. First thing I want to do is measure with a row of trees, because that's how wide you want a gap. You want a place for trees and fountains, and most importantly, water pumping stations, because otherwise the buildings are so massive. Twain won't be able to produce enough water. I want to create a luxurious area for rich people to live. The big squares are where the towers are gonna go. I'll do the same thing on the other side of the highway. Use curves if you have to connect. I'm not real worried about lining everything up perfectly. I'm clearing a path where I'm at the outdoor garden area to go. It's gonna have trees, fountains, and water pumping stations. The idea was 4 upper class towers here and 4 middle class towers in Reagan's Folly. Planting more trees. And I won't get it exactly right the first time. I'm going to make mistakes when demolishing some things. And then the water fountains. Large and small ones. I'm getting them a amphitheater. And I thought about a launch park. Just went with another fountain instead. Now installing the water towers. Because the buildings are going to be so massive that Twain's not going to be able to produce enough water. These are the futuristic water towers. Alright, what else will the city need? A mayor's mansion? I can't get that yet. I'll need 50,000 people. Careful not to have your towers blocking the road. And I thought about doing a roundabout here. Still a four-way stop, though. That's my dilemma. Instead of a direct four-way intersection, I decided to go with ramps to connect the highway. That's where I'm going to have my academy, where they invent more futuristic stuff. And that police and fire station is much too big for a city just starting out, but that's the idea. I want to prevent crime before it starts. And every major city needs a garbage dump and a recycling center. I learned that back at Trinity Point. You can't just have rich, luxurious stuff. Cities like that always fail. And I'll be exporting plastic, metal, and alloy that comes from the trash. I actually have access to rail and water. That should help. I'm not going to go with a waste reduction level. The problem with those is not only do they take too much energy, I can't profit off what's being produced by it. That's what I don't like. That's why I'm going with a recycling center in Tradeport. On the street just rid of the police station, that's where I'm going to have the academy. And there's not really room for much else, but I'll try my best to squeeze people in. Alright. Now I'm finally going to go ahead and add some residents. I forgot, I haven't even turned on the water or the power yet. That's all coming from Twain. And that mountainside road isn't going to work. I'm going to have to rethink that. And that road's not going to be work because there's not going to be enough room for the academy. Zoning commercial and residential. If I miss a few spots, I rarely get it perfect the first episode. I'll fix that later. And those squares are supposed to be big enough, but they're not. I'm gonna have to tear down a road. Doing my business tower first. It's gonna have a mall and some office buildings. I'm rebuilding the fountains. I decided to just go with trees in that gap there. Put the fountains closer to the buildings. Rebuild the water towers. And on top of the mall, we're gonna have a school. For the rich kids. First thing I'm gonna research is a maglev station. The magnetic train, that is. I just realized if I build a mediocre mall, nobody's going to want to shop there. These people are going to want high-priced goods. So now I got to tear down the school too and rebuild the school. And on level 3, I'm going to have some high-tech office buildings all the way up. Then across the street, I'm going to have my apartments. And I'm not going to do a sky bridge this time because I don't profit off of it. It looks cool and everything, but I don't make money off of it, so there's no reason to have it. The default is middle class apartments. I don't want that. I want luxury apartments. Now researching the second thing on the list. And those rectangles aren't big enough either. According to the grid, they were big enough. Trying to get my towers to face in a unifying direction this time because it just looks better. Now I'm in a tornado. I gotta rebuild the damage, fountains, trees, water pumps. Decided to have all trees in that gap there. The default is middle class apartments. I don't want that. I want luxury apartments. And you gotta go in and manually connect the towers to some of the roads. I don't like that. And over in that corner I was going to have an elegant casino, but I gotta wait on that. Gotta start with the gambling houses. Two should be enough to give me the $52,000 that I need. To build the gambling headquarters. No point of having that road there. And I'm getting way more cop cars and helicopters than I need, but that's the point. I want to stop prime before it starts. Also more fire trucks and helicopters. And I'm not going to get it right the first time. I'm going to tweak a few things here and there. Want the water pumps in the corners. Well, there you have it. I hope this episode was better. I know the game involves a lot of waiting. That's the end of episode 26.